So it was just another Kill Team Monday, and I was catching up on the latest releases from some of my favourite YouTube channels. Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop had just released an Inquisitor Kitbash video, so I sat down drink in hand to soak in the crispy content goodness.
Let a hobby challenge go unanswered like that. Let's do it.
My drink was warm, my seat comfortable, and the video was engaging. And then, at about 8 minutes in,
and I want to challenge my buddy Russ at GFN Gaming. Russ, I want to challenge you to kitbash your own Inquisitor.
with a challenge issued, I sprang into action like a spring.
A challenge issued. An Inquisitor to make. Dark gods to channel. I summon you, Kitbashers from the past.
What are you doing?
What?
I said, what the f*** are you doing?
Making a video.
F***ing pillock.
So, Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop has issued an Inquisitorial Kitbash challenge, and I have naturally declined. So, of course, I accepted Ben's challenge. Building and kitbashing is one of my favourite parts of the hobby. Originally issued from Ryan at Command Point, one of my favourite Kill Team YouTube channels, and if it's possible that you're into Kill Team and you still haven't yet checked these guys out, now would be a great time. They have oodles of content and it's all great. Anyway, Ryan issued a Kitbash challenge to Kill Team's very own Bob Ross, the nicest man dedicating his free time to a game with the word kill in it, Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop. He's a lovely man with an annoyingly good head of hair. Ben is one of my absolute favourite Kill Team YouTubers, making some great videos and talking about Kill Team with some genuine love. If you're looking for some great Kill Team content, I'd recommend checking out his channel right now. I'm a big fan of kitbashing, and over a few evenings I set aside a bit of time to try and kitbash something together. I kitbash a lot, but I don't tend to film it, so I'm not that good at getting the right angles yet, but hopefully I'll refine the process. For me, I tend to approach kitbashing with very little direction, although this time obviously I had quite a bit. On night one, I was feeling a little Ordos Xenosy, and I set aside some parts that I thought I could use to put together a heavily gen-enhanced bruiser. I tend to focus on the story in my head as I'm building, and I cycle through loadouts until one feels like it fits the character I'm making. Inquisitor 1 is a bruiser of the Ordos Xenos, the alien hunters, stationed on the Cordon Impenetra bordering the Octarius sector. Intensive gen enhancements allow the Inquisitor to operate effectively in a sector that boasts a high concentration of both orcs and Tyranids. Due to a prolonged investigation into a Hive Fleet incursion on the Imperial Forge world Sigma Ulstari, the Inquisitor suffered extensive nerve damage due to exposure to the toxic ocean that covers almost the entire surface of the Forge world. Opting to replace the arm whilst on the Forge world, he received enhanced mechanical implants, allowing him to wield a custom Astartes pattern relic power fist, although using it puts immense strain on the Inquisitor's solitary heart. I had planned on using the Inquisitor in a narrative campaign, and a plasma pistol is a great choice for a leader, so I opted to arm him with one. He also wields a power sword, giving him a few different options when faced with more heavily armoured enemy operatives. Having created a bruiser on the night before, I went for a much less physically capable Inquisitor for my next kitbash, this time moving further away from any semblance of playability. I have no idea how this character will translate to the tabletop, and my approach to this kitbash was a lot looser. I started thinking about creating some sort of mobility aid. Initially I had thought of a hover chair, and then I found some legs from an old AdMech kit, and the Tri-Walker was born. The legs interface directly into the nervous system, with data tethers going directly into the Inquisitor's spine, allowing him a very precise control over his walker's limbs. Although his main weapon is an underslung eradication ray, the Inquisitor has his combat knife and an executioner pistol also. And although this Inquisitor does suffer from decreased mobility, he can still walk, however now is much more at home on his Tri-Walker. As an Inquisitor of the Ordos Hereticus, the Heretic Hunters, he has spent a large portion of his career stationed with an Imperial Guard battalion, the Ventris Vanguard. As such, he has adopted a much less regal design, opting to dress in army fatigues rather than more ornate clothing. Out of his Walker, this Inquisitor with his pronounced limp and military dress looks much more like an injured veteran, all the better to overhear conversations of sedition and cults in the crowded mess halls. I can't find any footage from the Third Knight's build, so final pictures would have to suffice. I think this is the most heretical, and honestly I can't imagine an abhuman could ever really be an Inquisitor. However, Inquisitor 3 was an immense psyker. Left mortally wounded, his only recourse was to force his mind into another's relatively empty brain. Dominating the higher brain functions of a Bulgrin, the Psyker harvested, rather clumsily, his own remains and secured them in a salvaged Tau drone, keeping the Psyker's brain alive to continue his control over the Bulgrin. He still fights the good fight for the Inquisitors, however he's no longer given the best missions and seldom invited to the late night mixers. So those are my Inquisitor Kitbashers. The challenge was to create one, but I couldn't decide. Inquisitor A feels like a classic Inquisitor and would be really fun to use. Inquisitor B is a little ad-mechy, difficult to transition to the tabletop, but might be my favourite. And Inquisitor 3 is just absurd. I do love ogres and he's going to be very fun to paint up. Plus the amount of custom narrative rules this guy could have would be amazing. He goes down to 0 wounds the first time and the Bulgrin wakes up, no longer shackled by the Inquisitor's mind, and goes ballistic. I mean, he's left a light on back home. Can you imagine the bills he's going back to? Anyway, I can't decide, and like the Highlander there can be only one, so who do you think wins? A, B or C? Let me know in the comments. And whoever wins, I'm going to bring into the narrative campaign with his own rules. I like the idea of keeping this challenge going a bit longer, so first of all, here are the entries so far. We have Ryan's Inquisitor from Command Point, Ben's Inquisitor from Battle Brothers Tabletop, and here are my submissions to the Inquisitor Challenge. And now I'm going to throw this challenge onto Reese from Threes to Wound. Reese is hilarious, and for that reason alone you should probably check out his videos, but more than that, Reese's channel Threes to Wound is a one-stop shop for Kill Team fans. He has some amazing tactical analysis battle reports, going over thought processes behind game decisions and tactics. He dives into factions, giving his take on builds and ways you can run them. Basically, if you like Kill Team even a little, he will 100% have something on his channel that's for you. And if not, Reese will reimburse you monetarily. But first, you have to like and subscribe to his channel. The check comes later. Anyway, thanks for making it this far, and make sure you check out the first 2 videos on the Inquisitor Kitbashers, and I'll see you in the next video.